Here we are at KTR. I'm so happy that you've joined us. I'm so happy that you've joined us. Right here on K-Fame Talk Radio. I'm on here with Eric the Red and your other host J.R. Earls. Here we are talking about wrestling.
All is ready.
You are listening to K-Fame Talk Radio. K-Fame Talk Radio.
Everybody, welcome to this week of K-Fame Talk Radio. I am an under the weather Eric the Red, along with
under the weather J.R. Earls, and along with a very healthy
Mr. Bonesaw. Yeah, these fucking ill people I have to share a show with now.
I gotta say, we Thanksgiving is gonna be what, next week?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday. So you know what I'm gonna say, guys? Thanksgiving is upon us. It's time to eat at Mama's. Let's cook the bird. It's what we heard. It's turkey, turkey, turkey. Here we go. It's turkey, turkey time. You butterball. You blow my mind. It's turkey. It's turkey, turkey, turkey. Okay.
You know, I could have just got Jack and Dalton singing that, right?
That's true. I was gonna say, I've sent that to you.
Yeah.
This morning, actually, they played that every morning now on the radio. It's like at least once somebody will request it, and they run it through at least once. So on the way to taking the kids to school, we listen to it.
Oh God, by us, we don't even get that. We don't get Thanksgiving music. We already switched to fucking Christmas music.
Oh man, it's everywhere.
Dude, fucking even before Halloween, people were playing Christmas music.
No shit.
I was losing my fucking mind. The 26th, I'm hanging out with my good friend Marcelo. We go to the mall. They got the fucking mall Santa set up.
Yeah.
It's not even Halloween. It's not even fucking Halloween, and they had that shit.
Yeah, 2 days before Halloween, they're building the big Santa throne, and we got a beautiful setup, but it doesn't need to be up for another 2 weeks at least. And it's like 2 days before Halloween, and I'm going, what the actual fuck? But that's just the way shit goes nowadays, man. I remember when we had separate holidays, but then again, I'm also from an era when we got out of school on June the 8th, and we didn't go back until September the 4th. You know? It's crazy. Why the hell does everything got to be in such a fucking rush? Just chill out and enjoy what holiday you get. I mean, I love Thanksgiving. It's one of my favorite holidays. It's the best sleep you ever get. You get to sit back, watch TV, hang out with your kids. And it is what it's intended for. It's family. It's food. It's just relaxing. It's wonderful.
It's mostly food.
It's mostly the food, because I'm all about some turkey, and I'm all about some cranberries, and I love apple pie, and now the one thing
he loves multiples of them.
Yeah. Hey, fuck you. That was the old me. Anyway, but
he changed. Damn it.
One thing I cannot indulge in this year is cranberry ginger ale. So, because I'm on a no soda thing, but beyond that, it'll be all right.
I can have seltzer.
I don't know. I'd rather not because I'm afraid it'll kind of reopen the floodgates because that's kind of what I used to lie to myself going, well, it's just a little bit. This is just one thing. This is just another thing.
It's just water. It's
I know.
Just water. It's just like a flavored.
Yeah,
you can have that.
Used to get the new seltzer.
I stopped soda altogether too, but as I drink the seltzer water. So like whenever I go to the movies, instead of going, I'm not gonna get a soda or anything, I just say I'll get a seltzer. And they have like the flavored ones. They have like the ones that taste like black cherry and lemon lime. Yeah, like, you just like you lie to yourself and you say, oh yeah, it tastes like soda.
Well, do you?
It doesn't. It just tastes like flavored water, but it's fizzy. You get like a decent taste out of it.
Let me ask you this.
After a certain point, you don't miss it.
Let me ask you this: do you guys still get? Do you have the thing up there? Because up here we don't have it anymore. But do you get Clearly Canadian?
No.
No.
Oh, that was my jam back in the day. When you said black cherry, they used to make this one called Mountain Blackberry, and it was amazing. And that's what it was. It was sparkling water. It was flavored sparkling water, and it was fantastic. Do you guys remember when Aquafina started having the fruit flavored drinks in their water?
Yep.
Okay. So we're on our way to work out with and train some kids to a friend of mine's ring up in down in Boone County, West Virginia, and we made a pit stop to get some drinks and maybe a couple snacks because it's a good hour drive, and so we went into this like out of the way mom and pop little gas station. They sell gas, cigarettes, drinks, whatever, and we went in there to get some gas and some water, and I bought like 4 bottles of the strawberry flavored Aquafina because I love the strawberry. And back then, that's all the flavors they had. They had strawberry, grape, and I think orange was the 3 they had to start off with. Now they've got a million of them. But the lady behind the counter, I understand that she was trying to be helpful, and I understand that she was trying to tell me what I was about to purchase. But the way she said it cracked me up. She goes, "Now, honey, I don't know if you realize this or not, but this here water's flavored." And I went, okay, yeah, I went, yeah, I know, thank you, that's why I bought it. I appreciate it. I threw her like $5 and ran for the fucking door. I get in the car and I'm like, go, 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 go. And my buddy's like, why? Am I consorting with a known felon? What the hell? And then I told him what happened and we got out of there. But it was pretty funny.
I mean, it's nice that you're like interacting with your fellow Southern folk.
Yeah. Those people. Anyway, yeah.
Oh, come on! You've lived longer in the South than you have in the North. You're one of them now.
Oh, I'm probably guilty by assimilation, but that doesn't mean that I'm,
No, the South like Borg assimilated your ass.
You are not kidding. Oh, this is where my children are from, so therefore I guess I'm kind of. You know what? Let's talk about wrestling. So, you know that on Black Friday next week, I keep saying this week. Next week is Black Friday, and I will be at an event at here in West Virginia. Nitro, West Virginia, Third Floor Comics is going to be hosting Shane Douglas and Kevin Sullivan. They will be here to sign autographs for 1 hour, so from 11 to noon. They will be here, and it's going to be pretty interesting. I was asked by the person organizing it to draw some pictures to get them autographed by the stars, and then of course I'm going to do a couple of pictures too. But all in all, it's going to be an interesting hour to see when they show up and everything.
Earls, you know why they call it Black Friday?
No.
No.
It's because the time of the year when stores get robbed the most.
Oh, Jesus.
No shit, though. I mean, you want to talk about, like, Thanksgiving or whatever? I'll tell you what it's like over here. Over here, everything's rushed. And I remember when I was working at the supermarket, A&P, when it was still a thing and still not in foreclosure. or whatever, or not bankruptcy. I meant to
It's the
say.
impact of it's the impact of supermarkets.
No, it's the fucking XPW of supermarkets.
Oh, XPW's in foreclosure now?
Yeah. I don't even think they're still around. But anyway.
Oh, really?
So, I don't.
Yeah.
Dude, I haven't heard of anything XPW since like 2005.
Shit.
But anyway, so yeah. When I was working in A&P, I had to work Thanksgiving Day, and I would look out the window and I'd see a line. Because Best Buy was like right across the street, or kind of like adjacent to the store. And I'm looking, and I'm like, holy fuck, this line's going all the way around the store. Mind you, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Thanksgiving Day.
Wow.
So trust me, Black Friday means more to people than Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
In the East Coast, I should say.
Oh, it's ridiculous. They always show like I love to watch the news on Black Friday morning, because you have this person, like the newscaster, be like, we're here at Walmart, we've been here since 2 a.m. and the line is already formed, and I'm like, suckers. Or,
we don't get that over here. We got so and so got trampled to death.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Someone got stabbed for a pair of Jordans.
Yeah. A man was exploded today because he tried to touch Kung Fu Grip G.I. Joe.
A man was shot in the head for a Xbox One.
Man, this is no shit. In '89, when Batman first came out, as a child, I told this
you
story.
choke slammed somebody as a child.
No, well, yeah, but that was not over a toy. But I saw two grown men get into an actual fist fight over a Batmobile, a toy Batmobile, for Christmas. And I mean, they were duking it out. And what was really funny is that this little old woman comes in because they dropped the toy. She picks it up and takes off. So these two guys get to go to jail. Neither one of them got the toy, and Grandma got the fucking car for her kid or whatever. But it was hilarious. I'm just like, well, there
Are you
go.
sure you just weren't watching a commercial for Toys R Us?
No, I was right there. I was right in the middle of it, hoping I didn't get punched in the head, because it was pretty scary.
Been fine. It would have ricocheted off of you.
I'd have no-sold it.
Oh, just like Ricochet.
Exactly. So the other day, Joey Austin, which, by the way, I'll go ahead and say it on the air, his mom had open heart surgery last week. She's doing fine. Everybody's okay. She's okay. She's a little, taking it slow. She's a little weak, but she's feeling better. And tomorrow, I want to go ahead and say on the air that Stacy, my wife, is having in-depth nasal surgery. So she has an 85% blockage. So if you guys could just kind of remember her, I'd really appreciate it. We're keeping the boys home for the next 2 days, and then they start their Thanksgiving break anyway. So we're gonna be like, they're keeping me home with the kids because I don't do well in stressful situations. So they're gonna keep me at home with the boys. We're gonna play chess, and we're gonna play Nintendo, and we're gonna hang out. So it's gonna be like Daddy and the boys, and all that stuff. So, but
that's nice.
Anyway, so Joey messages me and he goes, "Hey man, are you watching that 30 for 30?" And I had no idea what the hell he was talking about. I was like, 30 for 30? What are you talking about? He goes on ESPN. He goes, it just went off. I said, well then obviously, Joey, I'm not watching it. and he goes, no, but check and see when it comes back on. And so it came back on at like 2 a.m. Shut up, Evie. That was my dog. Anyway, so at 2 a.m. it came back on, so I recorded it and went to bed. But when I got up the next day, man, I was watching that and I was marking out, and Joey told me that something was going to happen when I watched the show personally with me, and I said, no, you're crazy. That'll never happen. But I'll say this, and then I guess we can go into it with everybody's thoughts. But I have a newfound, I won't say respect, but I have a newfound proclivity to Hulk Hogan.
Go on.
The way he, the way he was putting over Ric Flair like that, and not trying to get himself over, and I guess we were starting to see maybe a real side of Hulk. That was to me was pretty cool. The way that he was literally just putting over Flair so vehemently,
Oh yeah.
And I was like, wow, even a guy with the ego the size of Hulk Hogan can bow his head and be like, Ric Flair is the man. I had to work twice as hard to be only half as good. Is basically what he was saying.
Yeah, I liked when he was like, when people were saying like, "Oh, Hogan, you're the best. You're the '80s," and he's just like, "Nah, you mean this guy next to me?"
Exactly, and this is going to shock you too. For God's sakes, Ricky, please get another story to tell. Because every time they interview Steamboat, especially if it's like about Flair or about training, it's always the same fucking stories.
I never heard that story actually.
Oh God, I've heard it like a million times. But then again, I'm more into the thing about the fireman's carry and carrying up the stairs and the wheelbarrow carrying and all that shit. I've heard that from Steamboat a couple times, and I'm just like, damn, brother, and I was like, that's crazy. And then but I loved how they mixed on that show particularly. I love how they mixed the animation with the actual story and all that. So, what do you think of it?
Cool. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I didn't get to see it, but one of my boss from work, weirdly enough, he hasn't been a wrestling fan since like probably the late '80s. And he was telling me, he's like, he was seeing all these like guys, and he's like, he really didn't know who like Undertaker or a lot of these newer guys were during the '90s. So he was saying like everybody was putting him over, everybody was like singing his praises and saying how much he helped them, and he was like it's in a way he was like saying it's sad to see him like as bad as he's gotten. And he says, he was one of my favorite wrestlers, when I was growing up. So, and he says, I haven't gone around to seeing it yet, which is a damn shame. But I've been hearing a lot of good things about the 30 for 30. You get a new found understanding for Ric Flair and the shit he's gone through.
It definitely is an eye opener. I really there were some things I didn't know, some things I did know, because I'm sure all of us have at least either if not read, then definitely gone through his book. I've read his book, so I enjoyed that, but to see the struggles and everything, and of course I knew about we all know about the thing with Reed, and I did appreciate how they allowed Charlotte to come on in there and say that because she's where she is because of where Reed isn't, basically. That that was pretty. WWE's gotta protect so much shit. They're so for her to be allowed to even say that was pretty cool.
Well, you know what though? See. How you felt about like the story with Ricky telling is exactly how I felt, which I knew she had to do it, but is exactly how I felt with Charlotte telling the story about Reed, because I'm like, not for none, I've known that for like years, that because she tells that story everywhere she goes, that she's only doing this because of the memory of her brother, because her brother wanted to do this, and like I never really saw matches of him in Japan. I actually didn't even know he teamed with Kaiji Muto, who is the Great Muta, which is that's pretty fucking cool. But I do think maybe, because that's why I'm curious to see how he was in the ring, is, I feel like maybe getting a nod like that, teaming with a guy like him, is because he was Flair's kid. I don't know, but I'd imagine he had a natural act for the business, especially, they did that little cute thing with him in when he was in WCW, and when he did the old takedown to Flair, Bischoff.
Right.
So hey man,
I'll be honest with you. Yeah, nepotism had a lot to do with him getting where he was in the business, but Reed, believe it or not, was trained by Flair. He worked out a lot at Hogan's when Hogan had a school. Well, not really a school, but kind of like he had a ring set up, and so Flair took Reed there. Of course, Ricky helped train him, and him and Richie actually came up together a little in the business.
Oh shit!
And so they would work back and forth. They actually, believe it or not, would when they would do amateur wrestling, they kind of would compete sometimes when they were kids. Just exhibition, because they were in different weight classes. Mm-hmm. But whenever their schools would meet, whenever their schools had a meet together, because they went to different schools, of course, they would have Reed Flair come out, and they would have Richie Steamboat come out, and they would wrestle just as an exhibition thing before the thing even started. And you had Ric Flair on one side and Ricky Steamboat on the other, and the fucking the fucking high school or even elementary school would put up on the marquee Steamboat versus Flair. And the people would flock in. This is down in Charlotte, so I mean, people are going to come in anyway. But the people would flock in, and there's Ricky and there's Rick, and they're doing their whatever they're doing, but they're there to support their children. And actually, Richie would either pin him or beat him on points. And then Reed got better, and he started beating Steamboat, and then they would go back and forth, and it was actually pretty cool. So when they grew up, that's how they grew up. They both grew up in the business. They both grew up with wrestling in their blood, And Reed, I've seen Reed wrestle, and he was phenomenal. He's like a Cody Rhodes type of prodigy.
Okay.
So if that could you imagine? And this, it breaks my heart. It really does. But
Reed against Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, could you imagine that?
Oh,
that would have been right. I mean, that would have been crazy. Or if Richie hadn't gotten hurt and Reed had lived, you would have seen the second generation of Steamboat and Flair. You would have seen the second generation of Flair and Rhodes. All these different flavors coming back, and all these different legends coming back, living vicariously through their children, who are stealing the show. And yeah. So, and when Hunter, see one thing, when you see it, Eric, you're gonna Pat, you're gonna see that Hunter was talking. They talk at length about Reed and unfortunately his addictions, but Hunter was talking to Flair about, because Flair was in denial. Flair was like, no, my kid's not on drugs, my kid isn't, and he just kept failing the drug tests, and finally Hunter was like, look, because it's you, we'll test him again. And again, he'd fail. This time he was like, we're going to test him.
Even
Maybe
worse.
This time, yeah.
He failed even worse on the test the second time around.
Yeah, and he knew the test was coming. That was the worst part. So, it's just one of those things, and it's terrible. I remember we were doing the shows at the Haunted Barn when the story broke that Reed was dead. So I had to get up there, and I was the president of the company, the general manager. So I
remember that.
I had to start the show, and I had to announce that Reed was dead. So we did a 10 bell salute and a moment of silence and all that. And the crowd was really down. I mean, they were upset because this young shining star that never got a chance to really see his full potential was snuffed out, all because of fucking drugs. So that's another example, kids. Drugs are bad.
Yep. Like, I didn't even know, like, how serious he really was, like, being fucking drunk all the time, and even, like, when Charlotte said that, like, her and her brother had this big mansion to themselves, and they would just fucking drink, like, and party every day.
Yeah. Yeah, his death was just terrible. But anyway, so
I mean, the one thing I will say, and maybe we can move on from here. Well, there's another thing I want to talk about that they did on SmackDown last night when it comes to the Flairs. But I do really hope Flair's sober, because just the idea of him. You know what? You know what? You know what? It really hit me that like this is a sad story at the very end when the guy from ESPN said, "How do you want to be remembered?" And Flair's like, "Well, I was a lousy husband and I was a lousy father, so I guess I just got to settle for being remembered as one of the best wrestlers of all time." And it's like, dude, that's sad. Like that's just really sad that like you fucked up your shoot life. And just to the point where you're like, hey, you know, let me have some fame and, you know, let me be remembered for that. It's like, you'd rather be remembered by millions of people that don't know who you are personally, as opposed to, I don't know, people that it doesn't matter who the fuck the outside world thinks as long as you have people in your inner circle. And he doesn't even really have that. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, you know, but I hope he turned it around. At least by him getting sober now and trying to make a difference now, maybe things will get better. I don't know. But, so anyway, last night, actually, they did Natalya against Charlotte for the women's title for SmackDown, and it was a pretty solid match. It was a slow build, but you know they did it in Charlotte, North Carolina, and they gave Charlotte the belt. They gave her the belt in Charlotte, and she's holding the belt up. She's like, oh, you know, she's like, I think my dad's at home watching on television. She's like, this is for you, Dad. And she's walking up the ramp, and then the music hits, and he comes out to give her a hug.
Oh, wow.
And
was it a shoot surprise, or was it?
Yeah, I think it was a work surprise. But she had a genuine. I don't know only because she did have a genuine reaction, unless she just knew how to sell it well.
Well, I mean, if they're in Charlotte, I mean, you know, he does live there, so I mean, it's not like he couldn't have just jumped in the car and hauled ass over.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay, yeah, you know, I'll go with. Okay, I don't know.
Maybe this happened. Okay, well, just for devil's advocate, maybe this happened. Maybe they're like, okay, we're gonna put her over. We're gonna, you know, maybe Hunter texted Rick and said, hey, I know you weren't coming down tonight, but we're gonna put the belt on Ashley. Why don't you come down? We'll let you come out at the end of the match, surprise her, big pop for the fans, and of course, you know, Flair is always big to come into the spotlight. He loves the fans and he loves, you know, his daughter, so win-win, you know.
Oh yeah, and I want to show you guys the picture of what he looks like now. I want you guys to be the judges if you think he's sober or not, because I'm watching this with my father, and we're trying to figure out like. Is he sober? Is he? Because my dad thinks he is.
He looks like he. Holy shit!
You think so? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I think
definitely
so.
looks.
What do you think, Pat? Look at that.
Yeah, he's looked sober, especially for because usually even during any type of segment, like he's usually buzzed. Like you can usually tell, like he's got a little bit of like flush to his face.
That's what I was gonna say. There's no redness. He looks great.
He looks leaner too.
He does. You literally just took it out of my. I was gonna say that. This the best he's looked since like '89. Holy shit.
I'd say maybe like 1999 into like 2001.
Do you think maybe he's happy?
I'd say after watching, I'd say maybe after he watched his documentary himself, he maybe had a self wake up call and went, "Holy shit! That maybe I do gotta change some things now that I'm now that I'm in like my 68." And then his body fucking shut down.
Oh yeah,
and he's gonna realize he still has kids on this earth. He has grandkids on this earth, you know? Like, granted, they're David Flair's kids, and, you know, I don't know if him and David are that close. I don't know if him and David are close.
I'm sorry, just the way you said it. Granted, they're David Flair's kids, but, I mean, still.
You know what?
He's got grandkids, but they're just David's. Fuck them, you know?
No. So, you know what? To be honest, sometimes, greatness skips a generation.
I mean, yeah, it's They're just David's kids.
But then look at Earl's and his kids. You know?
Oh, fuck you.
His kids are going to be great. Earl's not so much.
Yeah. I agree. So, fucking. They're just.
To all future parents out there, make sure you don't have a David Flair.
Or Earl.
Oh yeah. You know who was, as far as kids in the business that were a huge disappointment, David San Martino.
Ooh.
Scott Putski.
Oh, fuck you, man. I was gonna say that. Fuck you.
Or Ted DiBiase Jr.
Oh, David, I was gonna say that one too.
Yes.
All right.
You're not kidding.
All right. I got all you beat. Lacey Von Erich.
Ooh.
You win, sir. Yeah. You're. Oh, she's.
Brooke
God.
Hogan.
Oh. Yeah.
Nick Hogan.
Ooh.
He's too busy. He's too busy killing people with his cars.
Hey, man. Hey, man. Mick Foley's theme music foreshadowed what would to come.
Oh, right? Oh, my God. That's so fucked up. So did that guy ever... Did he die?
I think he did. Or, I don't know.
That's be a merciful death, because, I mean...
Pat, do you know if that guy's still alive? Let's see. They were in an accident. That happened in 2011?
Yeah.
I thought that was like 2008.
I did.
Yeah. 2007. Yeah, that's right. Hold up, another accident happened?
Oh yeah, he was reckless, dude.
Oh yeah, I'm confused. Oh, this was published in 2011. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, but the accident was in 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if this guy. Yeah, no, maybe he is. Maybe he's just still in a coma or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's just so sad when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because the pictures alone of the guy with like half a head, and I'm like, oh my God. So
Wait, what?
Oh.
the pictures of the guy from because they have photos of him. Have you not ever seen them, Pat?
Oh.
Oh Jesus! Hold on, I'll pull them up. I've got a picture.
Well, we can say Nickomania's run wild.
Yeah. It was pretty bad. He, the guy literally has half a head.
I got half the brain that you do.
Oh no.
Oh God! I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at that. No way. He's not even though he's got a point. I'm not laughing. The guy is basically a vegetable for the rest of his life, and he will
Sid Vicious.
pretty much, yeah. Yeah, but the problem with Sid Vicious is he was never worth a shit. This guy was a Marine, and he had his whole life ahead of him, and this shit happens.
Okay, yeah, that's really sad.
Yeah, this guy was just young here. This is what he looks like after the accident, so you can see it, Pat. It's pretty serious shit.
Oh God.
Good Lord.
Yeah, so we don't. I haven't heard. I don't know if he's dead or alive. I don't know the first thing about it. All I know is that he's never gonna. He's not this. He'll never be the same.
Oh, that got really dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
20 years ago, the world's greatest work was pulled off. Fuck you, it's not a shoot. The Montreal Screwjob happened.
Yeah, the world's greatest shoot.
Work! It's a work!
It's a shoot!
It's a work! Oh my God! And here we are, 3 fucking marks arguing about this shit like it fucking matters. So, okay. As you all, as our faithful KTR listeners can preclude, we all know my feelings on it. We know Eric and Patrick's feelings on it. So 20 years ago, this thing happened. Whether it was a work or a shoot, now the point is completely moot. But
Shoot.
it was a work. But still, the fact is that
it was a work shoot. You happy?
Yeah, sure, we'll go work shoot, which is probably closer to the truth. But you know, so where were all of us when the actual deal went down? Patrick,
Good call.
were you? Yeah.
I was watching Power Rangers.
Oh, bless your heart. See, you were the smart one.
Where were you out? Where were you,
I didn't
Bubby?
start watching wrestling until I was about 8, 9.
Wow, you were. I know you're. I know
before I got into wrestling.
Wow.
Wow.
I know you're like 2 years older than me, Pat. But man, I can't believe I started watching when I was younger than you. Well, then again,
You were
different
watching wrestling
circumstances.
when you were a sperm, Eric. I don't want to hear it.
do you
got
know how
into
old I
wrestling-
was?
Weirdly enough, I got into wrestling right around the height of the ministry.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, Earls, do you know what? According to my parents, what my first wrestling match was? Well, how old I was when I attended it? 6 months old.
Wow, dude, that's awesome.
And there's an actual picture of me in the fucking crate in the what the fuck the stroller. The stroller. There's a picture of me in the stroller at a wrestling show. And then but anyway,
That's really neat.
that day, I mean, I was probably since it was probably more towards 11. I was probably in bed for about 2 hours since I had school the next day. But knowing me, I probably watched it when I got home from school, from like kindergarten or whatever, or preschool, because I was watching wrestling back then. I wasn't watching it every week.
You kids are killing me, man. I was
You were watching it.
I was almost 21. Let's see. I was.
You were watching it, saying, "Oh, so that's what they're doing."
That's exactly what I said when I watched it. That was my reaction. I'm sitting there with I'm talking with like diehard marks.
Yeah, Joey Austin.
Even today, no. I had been watching it with Joey. That would have been our reaction, and we would have moved on. But I was in there with diehard marks. I was over at some friends' houses that weren't smartened up to the business. I actually enjoyed going to them watching shows with them because they were more entertaining sometimes than the show itself because their reactions were just hilarious. But
I know a few people like that.
Yeah, and I love them to death. I really do.
Yes.
But I'm sitting there watching it, and they're losing their minds. Oh, I can't believe this happened. Oh, Vince, you asshole! And I'm just going, wow, okay. You know, and they look at me because they know I'm in the business, and they're looking at me like, "What do you think?" And I'm just like, "I'm gonna go get another drink." You know? That was all I could think of. I was like, "I'm gonna go get another beer. Does anybody want one?" I mean, aren't you mad? No. Are we out of beer? You know, and they're like, "No." I said, "Well, then I'm not mad." You know, and they're like, "Yeah, but this just happened," and I was like, "Yeah, so." Okay, tomorrow he'll be making $3 million. What do you care?
Hey, this is my exact react. That was like my exact reaction when like people were pissed off at that fight between Pacquiao and Mayweather a few years ago, where like people were like pissed off. I'm like, dude, it's exactly what I expected. Who cares?
Yeah.
I was like, I wasn't even watching the fight. Who gives a shit? It's exactly what I thought. It was gonna go 12 rounds. Everyone's gonna be fucking spending millions of dollars, and it was gonna be worth nothing at the end.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I mean,
they're going, so what that
But yeah, but back on the topic. Let's see. Oh, I gotta read this. This isn't. I just found something non-wrestling related, but I gotta read this in a moment. But anyway, so. Yeah, listen. I know you and I. Ever since we started this show, I feel like the Montreal Screwjob, for whatever reason, got tied into our show.
Yeah.
But so I really think like now looking back on it, I one thing I want to do this week before Thanksgiving and all that, I want to watch. Or actually, maybe just before Survivor Series weekend, this coming weekend, I want to watch Wrestling with Shadows again. And watch with a new perspective, knowing because like I'm listening to a few podcasts out there, and the one my Monday podcast I always listen to, they were saying that if you notice, like, right when like Brett goes, I think it was on Wrestling with Shadows. Once when Brett goes to hit Vince, the camera goes dark.
Right.
So why would it go dark and then here comes Vince with makeup? And mind you, this is Wrestling with Shadows. This isn't a Vince thing. So, but I will say this, as devil's advocate, damned if you do, damned if you don't. If it was filmed, people would say, oh, it's a fake punch. You don't film it, oh, you know, he really hit him. So you know what, it's one of those things, damned if you do, damned if you don't. And you know what, I will say this. Me and Pat are on somewhat of a level of it, thinking it's a shoot. You're thinking it's a work. I'm going to go Montreal Screwjob is...
Because at this point, everything else in the business has been worked out. So at this point, what would be the point of them lying about it?
Well, you know what? I'm going to go with the Montreal Screwjob is one of the greatest unknowns. Because you really don't know. You really don't.
Everyone has said it's a shoot. The Undertaker said that he was in the locker room and he basically let he was the you know he was the enforcer for McMahon. He said that he let Brett go after him because of what he had done. So to be, you know, like and you know, there was a known reason why Brett didn't want to give up the belt. And, you know, they did this work. You know, it was wonky, fucking fake. You know, and you could see, like, even Shawn Michaels talked about it. He said his reaction, it had to be fake because he was afraid that the Hart family was gonna the Hart Foundation was gonna go after him. And he says he remembers Triple H, him and Triple H getting the fuck out of Dodge because of how pissed off they were. So why lie about it after almost 20 years?
I see your point there, but I do think I don't know.
It was I'll say this: it was worked out between Vince and
Brett
and Brett and Sean, but
yeah.
I think Brett was actually legitimately pissed.
No, he was,
Yeah,
but
Brett was mad, having to drop the belt to Shawn because at that time, not anybody, not even Brett, not even Shawn Michaels' own shadow, wanted to work with Shawn Michaels because of his attitude and the way he was. And you're right, Pat. Taker was, Taker was the enforcer, and of course we all know the legendary story of him at the gorilla position at WrestleMania 14, and what he was going to do if Shawn didn't do business, but. Oh man. Okay. This match itself was far overshadowed what actually happened. And had Shawn decided to get cute with Brett would have killed him. Right there in the ring. That'd have been the end of Shawn Michaels. Because let's take nothing away from the fact that Bret Hart grew up in the Hart family. He was trained by one of the greatest shooters in the world, one of the greatest hookers in the world. And Brett would have just turned him into a pretzel, and that'd have been the end of him. So yeah. Was it a work? Yes. Was it a shoot? Maybe. It was a shoot on Bret Hart's mind, I'm sure, because Bret always took himself so seriously. But
that's what we're trying to say here. It's a shoot on his it's a shoot from the angle of Bret Hart. That's what it is.
Do you think maybe it's because he was trying to protect the business, and that's why he keeps saying it's a shoot?
No, I think he genuinely... I don't think the intent... Listen, if he tapped out, then obviously we all would have not even been talking about this, but the fact he didn't... They fucking killed the finish immediately. and he's supposed to like he wouldn't even go along with that. Let's just go like that. He wouldn't go along with, oh yeah, okay, so I'm not tapping out, but you're gonna ring the bell, and I just had to act surprised. Like, you really think Vince wanted to get spit on? Like,
no,
let's think of this.
Vince is a freak, so you never know. But no, I'm actually watching the match as we're speaking. I'm actually watching it, and I'm actually watching just the match from Survivor Series, and I'm watching it, and they had, and just in the first 5 minutes alone, they had opportunities to take it home. You know.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, fuck, man. After all this time, to me, really, it doesn't matter anymore. But it is what it is. It will always go down. I agree with you, as one of the biggest, fake outs in the business. Kind of like before, this is now the new Andy Kaufman, Jerry Lawler. And maybe in 40 years it'll finally come out.
The thing was, what I heard that the finish was supposed to be a double disqualification.
That's what I heard.
And he was supposed to push. What they had told Brett was, he was going to get out of the sharpshooter, and he was supposed to push, or either that or Shawn Michaels was supposed to push Brett into the referee. And during the scuffle, the ref got knocked out. They're fighting, and then the ref just calls the match.
Right. It was going to end with big schmoz. Yeah.
That was supposed to be the actual finish that they had worked out with Brett, and then Brett the next day was supposed to, there's supposed to be a house show, and he was supposed to drop the belt at a house show. And originally, and Eric's gonna go fucking ape shit. You know who was the first person that Brett wanted to drop the belt to when it came for Survivor Series?
Who?
Stone Cold.
Austin. Yeah.
He said, I want to drop the belt to Steve.
Even though I didn't know that part, that doesn't surprise me.
Honest to God, that's true. He really did. He had a list of guys he'd rather drop the belt to.
Yeah, but
and it was a very short list, and Austin was at the top of it. If they said no to Austin, he was going to drop the belt to Shamrock. If they said no to Shamrock, he'd have given it back to Undertaker. If they said no to Undertaker, he was going to give the belt to Owen, because he knew Owen was going to stay.
Owen, I wouldn't know. You know what? Honestly, I have my opinions. When it comes to Owen Hart getting the belt, only because I do feel like when people, you guys could probably agree with me on this. Like, when wrestlers die, I feel like people are too generous. And the fact that I feel like Owen Hart, to the mark size in 1997 and 99, really wasn't a main eventer that people really thought until he did pass away. And I'm just being blunt about that. Would I have minded?
No,
Not at all.
Agree.
But let's be frank here. Now, I will say this: as cool as it would be for Brett wanting to lose the belt to Austin, I didn't want that to happen, or I wouldn't have wanted that to happen. You know why? You would have not had the special moment of Mike Tyson raising his hand in Boston and what Jim Ross going, "The Austin era has begun," and it wouldn't have catapulted the same exact way. It would have been like, okay, Austin has the belt, and here you go. Who wins the Rumble? You've
got a good point. You've got a good point there, bro. You really do.
So
you really do.
And then
you know what? You could have had another awesome moment where you have Brett. Because Brett and Stone Cold had that fucking phenomenal match.
Of course.
Oh, at WrestleMania, yeah.
And
of course.
Everybody would have lost their shit for like a sequel to that where Stone Cold goes over.
Yeah. No,
so
I know, but
that could have been just as legendary a match as the WrestleMania match with him and Shawn.
I'm not saying it wouldn't. I'm not saying it wouldn't have been.
It could have been done.
I'm not saying it wouldn't have been done.
Fellas, it gets down to nut cutting time, and we still ain't got a finish for this match. And I'm like, well, hell, book him with Shamrock, because he'll drop the belt then, because we're up there in Detroit, and I'm like, well, I can't lose the belt in America, so I can't lose the belt in Canada where I'm over, because I'm a Canadian hero. But we're talking like Whipper Watson level of hierarchy, so I kid. But, sorry.
Well.
Sorry.
Anyway,
because you've heard the Jim Cornette version of this, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh god, I loved it, man.
He said, didn't he say that McFoley called him up and he was saying that he didn't want to come to work?
He didn't. Mick Foley stayed in his hotel that Monday night, and Cornette and Jim Ross literally had to talk him off the ledge, more so to speak. And Mick's like, it's not right, and he's like, no, it's not right, Cactus. But do you think Vince is going to pay you for staying home? Brett just went off to go make $3 million. Come on, come back to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll end this topic with this, and then we'll move on. There's something impromptu I want to bring up to you guys that's pretty funny. So what do you guys from? I don't know if you really saw it much, Pat. I got to see it a lot when I was a kid, but Earls, at least, what did you think of Brett's WCW run?
I hated it
as a whole. I couldn't have said it even better myself.
The only cool thing I remember was when he finally debuted on Thunder after all that time.
No.
So seeing that was kind of cool.
Not Thunder, dude. That's, to me, it's, I don't know. My only favorite moment I really liked with him was when Goldberg went to spear him and he took the fucking chest protector off, or the metal plate.
What I was about to say. Yeah,
that was the only.
That was cool, but if I have to name a favorite moment, I would say it's when he actually got to wrestle Sting.
That one, Halloween Havoc, it was like Sharpshooter versus Scorpion Deathlock.
Yes, I enjoyed that match immensely, only because I'm going to get to see two workers who are masters of their craft get in there, and they let them go, and they just let them wrestle.
Here's one we both forgot, actually.
That was a fantastic match. I mean, do you guys remember how... I know you guys were young, I'm sorry, but I know you've seen it later, but... Did you guys ever really watch that match? It was fan-fucking-tastic. I mean, Bret Hart brought the wrestler out of Sting.
But he was healing it up pretty good, though, in that.
Oh, yeah, he was. But, you see, I hated Bret's WCW run only because I knew going into it that it wasn't going to be anything that he had with WWF. Well, I also knew that because of the lack of direction that WCW had, all they could see was Hulk Hogan. And again, I'm not dissing Hogan. I'm just saying that that's all they could see was Hogan. That Bret was just gonna, Bret was gonna be undershadowed like everybody else, and he was.
Well, you know what? I will say I did really enjoy his match against Benoit, though.
That was fantastic. His match. You mean the tribute match, right?
Yes.
Yeah, oh, dude, I sat there with the boxes clean. I fucking cried all the way through it. I really did. And at the end, when they were just hugging and loving each other and pointing to the ceiling, and because they were at the Kemper, I fucking died. I was crying so loudly. I couldn't stop. Yeah, that was a truly phenomenal match. And then terrible. But anyway, yeah.
Anyway, let's move on here. I
will say that one more thing. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I will say this. At least WCW had the insight to put like every belt they could fucking muster on Bret to legitimize their company a little more. So at least they had that going for them.
Right.
But anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, so what?
Sami Zayn starts off the European tour.
No.
Sami and KO are kicked off the European tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they're kicked. I misread that.
Yep.
I'm sorry. My fault. What they do? Drugs?
No.
Dude, come on, those guys.
What?
Oh, we'll show you the video, and you.
Please. I okay.
All right, go ahead, Pat. Pat, you send it.
I'm gonna send it right now.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, well, wait. While you're doing that, what made your little Jim Cornette impersonation funny there, Bubby? Was I found a list of songs that never fail to make white people turn, and like it's like it pretty much makes me think of like your like entire like iPod playlist. Like I'm gonna send this to you guys. Okay, let's see here.
Yeah, I'll tell you the time.
Okay. Hey,
Alright.
thank you for showing this to me. I really appreciate you when you guys do this. It means the world to me, guys. I really appreciate that.
All right, go to round 150.
Around 150. All right, you got it. Okay.
If you notice this, then as I did not notice what the fuck was going on.
All right, let me see here. Let me go to.
Oh, Pat's starting.
Ha ha ha.
Okay. Let me see here. All right. Okay, so what exactly am I supposed to be seeing here?
Okay, so
Because I saw Sammy laughing, but
no, like you got to 150. Kevin Owens is jumping on.
right
Kofi
on Kofi
Kingston,
with the terrible punches, yeah.
and they're getting out of the ring. Apparently, the reason that they got kicked out off the tour was the New Day was supposed to fuck up Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens and Sami they said that went into business for themselves, and
WWE didn't want. They didn't want Kevin Owens being an old school heel and developing heat for a tag team match that would happen anyway which happened last night, but would happen anyway the following week. Wouldn't it make more sense if you just had the babyface win to get some heat on the babyface to build to a match next week that babyfaces go over anyway?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't fucking understand. Well, I mean they didn't go over, but you know, it's still. It made no fucking sense to me at all that they were gonna fucking like kick these guys off just because we don't want you getting heat. Why? You're a heel.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. That yeah, I agree. And you're right. I have almost all these songs on my playlists. I do. I really do. As a matter of fact, we have a West Virginia University version of Sweet Caroline.
Oh, of course you do.
Yeah, seriously. The part, the bum bum bum. We actually say Sweet Caroline, eat shit pit.
Or in KTR's case, it would be Sweet Caroline, eat shit pet.
Well, yeah.
oh fuck you. Keep it up. I'll put up your Michael video.
Fuck y'all.
Dolsland. Yeah, man, you look like some kind of like weird cult getting ready to fucking worship a goat. Or I was waiting for the fucking bonfire and the goat to come out. I'm like, man, they're gonna fuck the goat then kill it. Because
Did you like his prank call?
That was oh god, that was the best.
Yeah, did you like my prank call where
Yes.
and by the way, I really did call Impact.
Well, nowadays that number is common knowledge.
Yeah, I found the. Yeah, but
It's not
like
commonly called though.
No, especially if James Storm is especially gone from the company.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I hardly consider this news because every time I like read anything about Impact, I always hear like almost every week. All right, James Storm's gone. Yeah, James Storm's gone from Impact, and I still see him on TV. I'm like, either this is filmed really like a long time ago, or this is bullshit. And he was on a pay-per-view recently for them, and I'm like, yeah, this is probably bullshit. So, I'll believe it when I see it, that this guy is fucking actually gone from this company.
Unless they play their pay-per-views like months before. We pre-planned it, so it'll be even more terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
So we could do a heel finish with El Patron, where he tries to rape Jeremy Borash.
Oh God, yeah.
So what's the story? So what's the story with Paige?
So there was rumors that she was supposed to be coming back this past Monday, and nope, nothing at all.
Oh wow.
Not at all. I mean, to be honest, I really don't give a shit. I mean, I don't know, man. The fact that this girl's just like, she's following around a guy who just has a fucking explosive personality. Dario's just a piece of shit, and like, she won't learn. She can't learn. Like, she makes people in my age group look bad. That's the best way to explain it.
Mm-hmm.
She's the epitome of like what people in like their like, you know, or anywhere between like their 50s and 60s, or even older than that, would think of like a 25-year-old. They look at a girl like her, who's a shitty example, and go, "Yep."
Oh, she's doing drugs, and she's like dating some Mexican guy who beats the shit out of her.
And she's like doing like porn videos with that guy from the New Day. Yeah.
And she's having sex with black guys while she's doing drugs.
That's why I stuck with
the guy just
the
like
New Day reference.
on her like accessory.
See, you're the one that like went out and like made like the somewhat racial comment, Pat. I just said guy from New Day.
Yeah,
I mean,
Pat just went black, so he's not going back.
7-year-old person would say.
I know, but
oh, it's fine. He's black. People can relax.
Pat.
Even Kofi would say he was black. So you know.
No.
Christ. Is that like I came out and pulled a Hulk Hogan?
No, I'm sorry, but I'm offended by your comment, and I just would like to say that Xavier Woods is whatever he likes to identify himself as. If he wants to,
he's one of them African Americans, isn't he?
Oh God, no. Did you see the new South Park?
No. I didn't watch any of the new South Parks.
Oh God, they actually had a funny episode like last week where Mr. Garrison, because he's the president now in South Park, he can't say the word Niger, so it's like
no.
You're mispronouncing Niger, and he's like, well, I don't understand why all the Nigerians are getting so pissed off.
Wow.
Oh no.
That's just too good.
Either too good or too bad.
So it could have been worse. I could have called him a Niger. Oh God, no! Please, people, we're not super racist. It's part of the gimmick. It's part of the gimmick.
Well, we're not super racist, but still.
I'm slightly racist. It's fine.
There goes our show, folks. That's
the show. We're going to be taking off YouTube.
Oh, please.
Hey, fuck you.
Hey, I love how like this summer consisted of like people defending like what culture and like all these promotions that were trying to get taken down. And it's like, hey, wrestling isn't hate crime at all. Meanwhile, they listen to three schmucks talking from fucking their separate apartments, and then you just hear one of them going, "Yeah, African American, woo!" Good job, Pat.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, wrestling happened.
Yeah, let's see here. Neville's supposedly in talk with WWE again. Which I find a little odd because I'll give you the backstory there, Earls. So basically, this guy just pretty much just left television because he's a little pissed off, and I don't blame him, that he and Aries had a really solid match on the WrestleMania pre-show.
Wait a minute. First, when I read that they let Aries go, that really kind of bothered me. So go ahead.
Well, they let him go back in June, actually.
I know, but
it's still regardless. I know. There's audio. He was on Jericho's podcast this past week. We'll get into that, but yeah. So yeah, basically what happened here was at WrestleMania they had a great match but it was unfortunately on the pre-show. Now, WWE put together a DVD set, which I'm surprised they still put together DVDs since all this shit's on the network, but I digress. So they put together a WrestleMania DVD, and you'd think, it would have bonus extras of, the pre-show and, stuff, amping up to it, because the DVDs of the past have done that, right? Nope. That match completely missed the DVD/Blu-ray set, and therefore, they never got royalty checks for it.
Oh, man.
Mind you, Neville was making a decent check, not a lot of money, but, a decent amount of money for the video game appearances, and ever since he was in 205 Live, and putting actual work in to his character and all that, being a heel, being a good heel at that, he gets a fucking pay cut on the video game. So, the guy left, and now all of a sudden, he, could be returning to WWE after talking with Vince. So, I don't know if Vince is blowing smoke up his ass, or I don't know if Neville was just burnt out and he just wanted to take some time off or take a few weeks or a month off or whatever. But I mean, I don't know.
Why would you want to come back though? Because obviously, as soon as you come back, you're gonna be fucked. He's not. Vince has this weird thing about people that unless you're a big name star that's gone himself over to the point where you're Brock Lesnar or fucking Goldberg or somebody. You're not gonna Neville's great, but he doesn't have the name recognition. People aren't gonna go suddenly start cheering the guy. I don't. Well, you're gonna have regular fans.
He will have the niche fans going. He will if you put this guy in a Bullet Club shirt and send him out in front of a fucking crowd in Ring of Honor or a fucking show in Corrigan Hall for Japan. People are going to mark out. But I see what you're saying. You put him back at WTV, you're going to have the smart fans, mark out. But you put him in front of a crowd in, I don't know, fucking, South Dakota or wherever the fuck, or whatever these fucking bummed states that they go to, people aren't going to care. They were they're going
to be like, Neville's back. I don't like that Neville. He was heel the last time.
Not even that. Not even that. They'll just go, oh, I didn't know he was gone.
Thank you, because I didn't know.
And I rest my case.
Well, you don't watch the product at all, Bubby.
Well, I don't, but at the same time, I know who is and who isn't gone. And I didn't know Neville was gone. I knew Aries was gone, and that's kind of why I thought it was strange that we're going to bring it up now, because I knew he was gone back then.
Well,
so
I'll like I said, I guess maybe we could jump into it.
Well, I get it now. I was just curious.
Yeah, he was on Jericho's podcast this past week, and he had said the reason why he was gone, and mind you, he was saying the internet is totally full of shit most of the time, which we all know. But the internet was saying, oh, this guy has a bad attitude and WWE wanted nothing to do with him. No. Aries had said himself, company liked me. I liked working for the company. I was willing to do everything they did, or they told me to do. But, he said in his opinion, but they had me lose to Neville 3 times on pay-per-view. And I feel like that as a babyface, there was nothing left for me. I either had to have been a heel, or I had to have been a commentator, or even maybe go back down to NXT for a little while. He saw that, he acknowledged that, him, losing multiple times was bullshit, in a way. But after they had that third match with Neville, the WWE said to him, "Hey, we have nothing left for you. We're gonna let you go."
Right.
And Aries was just like, "All right, well, I got nagging injuries anyway, so I'm gonna take time off, and that's it."
That's a shame.
Yeah, it sucks. It really does. And his wife is down in NXT. Rosita, who's in TNA, she now goes by the name of Zelina Vega. But it's amazing to me how you can have a guy who is considered like, I always looked at like a guy like Chris Hero and Colt Cabana like this too, where it's like you have these guys who are just, they can fucking give you a match with a broom and give you a 5-star match.
Right.
And, like, you just brush them aside, and it's like, nah, never mind. Nope. But, because we gotta be fair here, you have guys in that same class like Samoa Joe. And when he was around CM Punk, when he was around Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, these guys were all in the same class as all these three that I just mentioned. And you're not, and like, they see them as top guys, but why the fuck, like, why isn't it like, you can't treat all these guys as the stars that they are, Cesaro including. Cesaro, they like mildly see as, like, they mildly see his potential, but he's more than a fucking tag team wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things where they do it, and I'm not gonna lie. When you mentioned wrestling a broom, I'm thinking you, sir, are the broom.
Yeah, well, okay, they could all have a match with Khali and make it great.
You, sir, are the broom. I'm sorry.
I can totally.
Does Patrick know that one?
Oh,
Yeah, I know you're a broom.
Oh God, I love that. Anyway,
the Brendan Burns comedy shtick. Yeah, I think,
I've seen it, dude. You fucking sent that to me like the first time you saw it.
oh my God.
Yeah, see, I knew I did something good. Yeah, but yeah, man. Do you?
Oh, speaking of disasters, well, me and Eric had an idea.
Okay.
Well, all right. So since, before we get into that, because I want to tie everything together here. Before we do get into that, I just want to acknowledge the piece here that this Kenny Omega Jericho match that's happening in Japan. Vince did give his blessing for it.
I think it's great.
Ooh, who gives a fuck? Isn't he the same guy that said, you can't do the 2 Street anymore, you can't do this, you can't do that?
Well, the reason why I find this funny, I find it interesting that he just took away something from these people and went, yeah, alright, we'll give you Chris Jericho. Cool, awesome. But, I mean...
Yeah, but Chris Jericho is even signed to a contract with WWE. I thought he was just like a part-timer.
He is, but Vince supposedly still had to give the okay.
How?
Because he's Vince and Kennedy McMahon, goddammit!
Exactly.
No, I mean, like, why? Like, other wrestlers have wrestled for other companies without
it's because
having his okay.
It's because Jericho has a merchandise deal with them, and it's also because even though he's on a month to month or whatever, like a pay-per-appearance contract with them, he's still acknowledged as like a guy that's like in within that WWE circle. So they saw it as like, Vince saw it as like, all right, well, he's always been good to us, so if this is what he wants to do, go right ahead, and he could come right back to us like nothing happened.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's Vince.
I think that's ridiculous, though.
Dude, Vince owns the fucking world. In his mind, he owns the world. In his mind, he owns the world.
Yeah. I was gonna say, he's a legend in his own mind. So of course he he thinks he owns everything, but
No, but the funny thing is, he's a legend in his own mind, but he still hasn't made his own fucking Hall of Fame.
I know,
Yeah, right?
it's yeah.
I was watching a while ago this like little tour that they did in the WWE warehouse, which that's one of the few things I wouldn't mind hanging out in for like an hour or two, just seeing all like the legendary shit that's in there. But like as they're showing the video, you just see in the middle of all this shit, you see like Undertaker caskets and like WCW's like stuff and like the SmackDown fists and all this shit, and then you just randomly see a giant poster of Vince on the cover of Muscle and Fitness.
Oh god.
And I just can't think. And then like someone that was on this little tour here was like, "Wow, I'm surprised this wasn't in Vince's house." Like hung above a mantle.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but you know what? To be honest, with him not being in the Hall of Fame is that Vince likes to think that he's a perfectionist. So I don't think he's come up with a perfect idea. So he's trying to do as perfect a introduction for like the Hall of Fame as he possibly can with the right person. You know, that's probably why he hasn't done it, because he's still trying to think of a way to top everyone else.
Well, that makes sense. I think about it.
So instead of him going in the Hall of Fame with a bunch of wrestlers, they're gonna do 1 year of the Hall of Fame where it's just all the wrestlers talking about him, and he's the only inductee.
Oh shit!
Wouldn't surprise me.
Don't give him ideas, Bobby. Don't give him ideas.
Right? It's like let's build this whole thing around me. It'll be great.
And then we'll have the President of the United States induct me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you. Yeah, it'll be live from like fucking CNN and like.
He'll be in the Oval Office going, "My fellow Americans, I just want to say it's going to be huge."
Vince will get inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame while being in the Oval Office.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! I thought of one. I thought of something funny. So the camera pans in. Camera pulls in on a tight shot of what's his name, of Trump. Sitting there and my fellow Americans and all that. And just as soon as he's done with his speech, the camera pans out and Linda, her head pops out from underneath the desk. and he goes, "Thank you for finding my pencil, Linda. I appreciate it."
and now to induct Vincent Kenny McMahon into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it wouldn't be Linda. It'd probably be Stephanie.
Well, I just thought, because Linda's is actually on Trump's staff, so.
Yeah, but I don't think Trump likes the old broad.
True.
Probably be Stephanie. He'd be like, and she'd be like, just like Macho Man.
And Triple H would be like, ugh. Guess who ain't showed up to NXT tapings?
Oh god.
I'm gonna bury the president.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see fucking Triple H just like storming the White House with a shovel.
Yep.
Yeah. He's got the shovel in one hand, the sledgehammer on his back, going, "I'm gonna put him in the pedigree."
He freaking pedigrees him through the fucking Oval Office desk.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Man, this is gonna be some fucking induction for Vince, huh?
I'm telling you. Not to mention the fact that we just literally got on the watch list for Homeland Security. Not only are we making racist comments, but we're going to talk about how he's going to pedigree the fucking president.
Yep.
So.
Well, no, technically he's pedigreeing. We have nothing to do with it.
That's true, but if it actually happens, we're gonna get a knock on our door. Excuse me, we're with Homeland Security. I'm like, hey, Eric Williamson in New Jersey, go get him. So,
Oh, he's from Parts Unknown. Yeah.
yeah, he's in Parts Unknown. Yeah.
Thanks for breaking kayfabe.
My bad.
I'll say my address. I'm from 316 Gimmick Street.
Is that on the corner of Know Your Old Boulevard and Jabroni Drive?
In Bayonne.
That's 2 blocks away. Yeah, I'm from Bayonne, France, just like Andre the Giant. Alright, so anyway.
That's too fucking good. Oh, man.
So,
Yeah,
okay,
good for Vince, whatever, but what do you think? How do you think this match is going to be like? I mean, I think it'll be great, but do you think it's going to be,
with Jericho and Omega?
Yeah.
You know what though? I got to tell you this. I don't think me and Pat brought this up last week, but so while Vince gives his blessing or whatever, he's pretty pissed off at Kenny Omega. Actually, we did play this last week. He's pretty pissed off at Kenny Omega because Kenny Omega, being the fucking great promo guy that he could be, he does a press conference. He does these quite often sometimes within Japan, because this is just the structure of Japan. What they do is their promos, like, you know how like WWE time, it's like, oh, we gotta go out and cut a promo before the show for like a half an hour. Mm-hmm. Japan will just do a bunch of press conferences the day before a big card, and we'll go, okay, we'll just have them sit at a table and do their promos that way. And it's structured pretty cool. But anyway, Kenny does a promo in a suit, and he's saying, quite point blank, everyone in WWE is beneath him.
Oh, wow.
Just all the guys are beneath him, and everyone cannot put on the performance that he could.
Well, there you go.
And, of course, Vince gets pissed off at that. Why wouldn't he?
Why, yeah. I mean, sure.
It's called a promo, Vince. It's a promo.
Yeah, it's a work, Bubby.
Yeah.
It's not like it's real. Calm down, Vince. Have some dip. We're good. Yeah, because I guarantee you, somewhere in the Titan Tower, Vince is going, "Son of a bitch, I want to kill that old bastard."
I don't think he can kill him.
It's a work, Mr. McMahon.
Hey, no, it's you know what?
You need to calm down, McMahon.
Yeah.
I have this idea actually that when Kenny, because Kenny's probably gonna go over and beat Jericho. I have this idea that he should come out and go, I beat the guy that beat Rock and Austin in the same night. So now I'm your number one draw.
If anybody would say it, it'd be him.
Oh, it should.
And I would, if it was me, you're damn straight, I'd work that. I would work the shit out of that.
Yeah. It's a no-brainer. Just go ahead and say it.
No, here's his promo. That's right, folks. Kenny Omega. I have beaten Chris Jericho, the man who defeated The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the same night. Therefore, vicariously, everyone, I am the one who defeated The Rock and Chris Jericho and Stone Cold Steve Austin in one night, because I am Kenny Omega, and that's just the way it is. WWE, you're all beneath me.
You know what? I love how, like, Earls could not watch the product, and he could still, like, kind of work his way into how the guy's promo would go.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty much how it would go.
It's because I've been in the business for 30 fucking years, okay? And not much has really changed. I can still do...
Except everything.
Not really. I mean, it's all the same... shit.
Yeah, watch a New Japan match or a Ring of Honor match without the flippy guys and see how pissed off you get.
Very well.
Without the flippy guys?
No, with the flippy guys, I mean.
You said without. Well, without the flip. Without the flippy guys, he'd be
with
happy.
the flippy guys.
With the flippy guys. With the flippy guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to have the little flippy flops. God forbid you get down there and you fucking mat wrestle and you chain wrestle and you do actual wrestling. And aren't we gonna talk about NXT War Games? Because let's rather talk about that.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we got NXT War Games this week, which gave me and Pat kind of an idea. I
like this. Yes.
Yeah. So okay, since we got War Games coming up, and you got Survivor Series the next night, me and Pat kind of worked an idea together that what would be cool, what they could do is, okay, so you do your War Games match, you get your WCW nostalgia out right there, fine. So, people think that's it. So you got this Raw SmackDown thing going on the 4-hour pay-per-view, and toward the end, you just have, all of a sudden, people come for the crowd, oh, who is it? Oh, it's so-and-so from NXT, it's a bunch of the NXT people beating up everyone from Raw and SmackDown. And yeah, you just have a big fucking schmoz go on, and the GMs try to separate it, and it don't work. And then all of a sudden, Vince comes out and goes, "You know what? You wanna do it like this, huh? So this is what we're gonna do next month. We're gonna have Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT in World War III. We'll have 3 rings.
You gotta say it like this: World
War 3.
I can't do my Vince impersonation tonight, so you guys gotta do it.
I was gonna say, yeah, because without the impression, and Pat nailed it. You really got to get that going,
I know I couldn't do it, but thank you. Yeah. So
do you remember? Okay, Pat, do you remember right before Austin went over for the title and Vince cut that promo about Stone Cold Steve Austin? The thought of you walking around with the World Wrestling Federation belt makes me wanna vomit. His
you wanna vomit.
There you go. Yes. You are the man, sir.
He's gonna puke.
Oh. You went too Triple H with that.
He's gonna puke.
He's gonna puke. He's gonna puke. Oh God, I can't do it. Damn. Oh, being sick sucks. Ugh.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. When you think about Darren Drozdov for a minute, and where he could have been had he not got hurt, he would have been on top of the world. It kills me to know that he was hurt so badly and that he was not able to do anything, after that happened, and so I think about stuff like that, like what could have been.
Oh yeah.
But before we get into the predictions, one thing off topic, are you guys going to go see the Justice League?
Oh fuck no.
Okay.
I'll probably wait till it comes out on Blu-ray.
Well, see, Dalton's birthday is at the end of the month, and he has no desire to watch the Justice League either. So what we're going to do is he and his grandmother are going to go watch that new Christmas movie with all the animals, Star, I think it's called.
Okay.
And while they're doing that, me and Stacy and Jack are going to go watch the Justice League because we're all like jonesing to see it. However, if I never listen to the reviews, but if the reviews are right, then this movie is going to be horrible.
Well, the fact
already out.
The early reviews is actually the early reviews are already out, and they're saying that it's cool that they're all together, but there's not really a lot of direction.
Oh, because you want to know why? It was because they got Joss Whedon at the last moment, and it was mostly directed by
Abrams, right?
By Zack Snyder. And
Zack Snyder.
I'm not going to make fun of Zack Snyder because the reason that he had to drop filming was because his kid died.
Right.
So yeah, I like Zack Snyder. I just don't think he's well suited to directing big budget adaptations of DC heroes. And I think the only time he's ever really done it correctly was with Watchmen, because there's not a lot of, it's already a dark source material, but like the way they've made the like the Justice League characters, they've never really been that dark, other than maybe Batman.
Right. But had it been directed all the way through by Joss Whedon, it would be it'd be out of the park. Amazing. So, I mean, think about it. His version of a Justice League movie, holy crap! Because his version of the Avengers, is just amazing. So, but anyway, let's go ahead and get into the predictions here for the Survivor Series.
Okay, well, so all right, so maybe we could work on a time. Maybe we could do the review for this Monday in the afternoon. Bobby, would you be on, or you're not sure yet?
Oh, I'm after today. I'm done for at least a couple weeks because I'll be helping Stacy with recovery and all that stuff. So no, I'm not gonna.
All right. Oh yeah, that's right. Of course, not a problem. But anyway, so yeah, we'll get into it. Let's get into it now. All right, so it's gonna be a 4-hour show from Houston, Texas. We got the first match. It's gonna be a pre-show match between for the Cruiserweight title. Enzo Amore, who's now a heel, defends the belt against Kalisto. I'll go with Enzo, I guess.
Well, okay. Yeah, I'll go with Enzo.
Pat?
Enzo.
Alright. Okay, next up, we got, Intercontinental title against U.S. title, champ versus champ. We got, the Intercontinental champion from Raw, The Miz, going against, SmackDown's U.S. champion, Baron, fucking, Balding, whatever the fuck, Puke Corbin.
Well, let me ask you this real quick before we go into this. Is this going to unify the belt, or
No. It's just pretty much bragging rights.
Yeah, it's an exhibition.
In that case, Miz.
Yeah.
Oh, please God, let it be the Miz.
Let it be the Miz.
Yeah, I mean, if it's going to be anybody, it'll be him.
It's weird though because they're both heels.
It doesn't matter.
No, I mean like
right.
The idea of the match is usually you have one heel, one face.
That's true.
And it's kind of weird. It's hard to root. Like if you're just a regular fan, you're like, obviously we're gonna root for the Miz. The Miz is the better person on the mic. He's a better worker. Yeah, but it's just like to a common fan that doesn't like see that. Isn't it weird? Because a lot of people are. People don't really boo the Miz anymore because he's such a good, he's so entertaining. But it's like, are they going to treat the Miz like the face here, and Baron is the heel? Because Baron was like saying, remember the tweet he was saying about his wife?
Yeah, like pretty much, they did like Twitter videos back and forth, and like Baron's like, he's like, I'm the big bad wolf, and I'm gonna, hurt you bad, and gonna make you want to go play dress up with your little wife, and Miz is just being the real professional, making it look like a shoot, and going, if you talk about my wife again, I'll knock your fucking teeth down your throat.
Right.
So, Miz is pretty much carrying this feud, and Baron's just really, like, talking like a grade schooler. Saying like, he's like, you're gonna be a dad soon, and that's nice, but after Survivor Series, I'm gonna make you call me daddy.
I feel like Miz can get over as like an Eddie Guerrero type face, where he still cheats, but it's fine.
But I do like his whole, like, I still like him as like the heel, where it's like, I got the wife, and I'm outspoken, and I got my my crew with me, Curtis Axel with the fucking crew cut, and Bo Dallas coming out with the fucking Blackjack Mulligan glove, ready to punch someone in the face. Like I like the whole shtick. That,
but you can play him as a face. Like he's the guy that fucking cheats, but everybody loves the guy, so it's fine. Like
Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero. Like Eddie Guerrero fucking would cheat all the time, even when he was a face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it kind of became like expected that he was going to do that. So.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, I guess you could see that. All right. We're moving on. I'm gonna skip the men's match because we'll talk more about that. Because since it'll be one of the main events. All right. So next up, I guess we could talk about the women's 5-on-5 match. We got Team Raw, which is Alicia Fox, Nia Jax, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Asuka against Team SmackDown of Becky Lynch, Naomi, Carmella, Tamina, and it says now to be announced, which will probably be Natalia.
No.
Alright, it's gonna be Queen Bee, Nikki
it
Bella. It's gonna be Nikki Bella, probably.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Queen Bee.
I mean,
she's gonna be the one that she's gonna be the final one, and it's gonna be Asuka that gets the elimination.
Oh no!
You know it. I know it.
Oh no! Please don't tell me that they're gonna have Nikki Bella and Asuka stare off. Like this is something actually like a competition of. Really, it's we all know Asuka's the real talent here, and Nikki Bella's just the fucking titty model.
Oh yeah.
John, can you bring my dildos?
I'm a remarkable person because I could pay my cell phone bill.
I'm a remarkable person because I bring my box of toys everywhere I go.
And now, dancing the Paso Doble with her dildo, it's Nikki Bella.
So I heard that she actually fucking failed on Dancing with the Stars, right?
Oh yes, she
got kicked off?
She went down in flames. Oh yeah, she's been gone for I'd say almost 4 weeks.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, she didn't last long. But I mean, I knew she wouldn't. She was horrible, and they were trying to do all these, meaningful dances, and you got Brie in the crowd. Oddly enough, you never saw Daniel Bryan, but John Cena was there.
Good, because Bryan wouldn't give a shit to be there.
Oh, that's what it is, But you got Brie in the crowd, and she's cheering on her sister, and then you got John Cena whenever he was there was just kind of. I'm here.
You know what I love though?
They actually did bring him on screen. They actually brought him out on the dance floor once to interview him and just talk about Nikki and all that stuff. So he did get some airtime, believe it or not, and they put him on the spot. He is not an on the spot talker.
Who,
he
Cena?
just isn't. Yeah, Cena. Oh, speaking of John Cena. Have you guys... Oh my god, this is so terrible, and I guarantee you guys have seen it by now. I guess, is WWE hurting for money? Because Toyota, in their latest commercial, is using John Cena's theme music.
Oh, that's not new. That's been going on for a couple months.
Oh, really? I just now saw it. I see again. Yep. It's got to be something where I live here in West Virginia because everybody.
You live in Podunk. Everything comes later.
I swear to God, because when I'm watching the commercial, I'm like, okay, I know. I said, I'm like, dun 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 dun. I'm like, okay, they're not going to have him rapping, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, So yeah, WWE has been reduced to using John Cena's music to promote Toyota. Oh, what a feeling.
Hey, well, you know what, though? I mean, it's the same way as, like, the video games now have fucking KFC advertisements everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, KFC gotta plug their shit.
Or in the video game, like, stickers, like, plastered all over the place, like it's a fucking, like someone took a Snickers bar and, like, like they did, like, a mod on the game.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, you got Snickers advertisements everywhere. But the best part is when you play in the SmackDown arena, you see the fucking Truth.com logo all over the place.
Yeah.
And even like the crowd, like when the crowd stands up, they all stand up. All the chairs say Truth.
Oh wow!
They all say Truth.
But you know what? You know what's the best thing? Like the one logo that they should have is the fucking Jimmy John's logo on Brock's like.
Oh yeah. No,
they can't get that. They'll just put the 2K logo over it.
Yeah, no, they're not gonna put logos that actually would like represent what's actually going on. No, they're gonna. Yeah. All right, let's just You know what? I'm surprised they did. I'm surprised they didn't put a fucking KFC logo on Brock Lesnar's fucking shorts.
Oh, you know what? You know what? Another one I noticed, and this is fucking hilarious too. The fucking Superman logo is completely gone too. In the toy, in the action figure, plus, all the characters that on Braun Strowman, he has that Superman tattoo. So because they can't have the rights to Superman, it's a fucking like blank circle in the middle of his fucking arm, and the same thing can be said for his action figure.
Well, you know what I love? Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys. Pat, you would probably know this before me. Doesn't Mattel still own the DC license?
I think so.
It should, yeah.
Alright, so don't they have the rights to Superman?
It's different because the licensing thing is really weird. It's just like where Fox owns the rights to do like Spider-Man, not Spider-Man, but the X-Men and like the Fantastic Four. However, you'll never see them in like a big Marvel movie with like Captain America and movies like that because of the licensing differences. Like Deadpool, you'll never see Deadpool and Captain America in the same film.
Well, also because when it comes to toys, Marvel owns all the toys. So if toys come out for X-Men or Fantastic Four, they don't see a dime of it. Marvel sees all that money. They can sell all the merchandising. Now, when it comes to because technically they're working a deal out with Mattel is working a deal out with DC. If the money doesn't go to DC, then obviously they're not gonna sign off with the use of their logo. But even like a small little tiny logo, WWE would have to pay some kind of royalty rights to DC, and they're making like millions of these fucking action figures. These is a popular figure.
Yeah.
So obviously they're not gonna fucking do it. You're gonna have to paint the fucking thing on yourself. So you can buy the figure, and then you kind of have to take like a fucking Sharpie and like draw the fucking Superman logo on it.
Well, kind of like with the CM Punk figures.
Exactly.
With the Pepsi logo and the Cobra G.I. Joe Cobra logo. Well, someone will come up with a printable sticker or something that's just taken.
Well, you know what? They used to sell those back, and they still do. There are people that sell them on eBay. You could buy like a set of them for like maybe $5 or whatever. I would get them, but I just since like the Cobra Commander and like the Pepsi was so easy, I just painted them on myself for all the CM Punks I had when they came out back in like 2012 or whatever. But like the Braun Strowman, it's like. It's so small, like, you gotta really, like, do it with, like, a fine pen or whatever, so I never did it yet, but I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where I understand that they can't do it, but, what I'm amazed by, Jericho has all band tattoos, like, he has, like, he has, like, a Fozzy, like, little logo on his knuckles or fist.
Probably said he's not gonna sue them because of it.
No, like the Fozzy thing, they put on there, but like his whole arm sleeve, they can't put on the action figure because I think like one is like an Avenged Sevenfold thing, and like one is like something like some other band that he has. But like the figure just has no tattoos at all, other than his little Fozzy tattoo. But how the fuck did we?
It's one of those situations where you're gonna have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Like if you want the figure to look exactly like how he looks in real life, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to fucking do it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm looking at his arm. Yeah, he's got the Rolling Stones mouth logo. Yeah, I'm seeing now. Yeah, he's got a Halloween pumpkin, which could represent
Smashing Pumpkins.
Smashing Pumpkins. Yeah. So all right. Anyway, how the fuck we went from trying to talk about the Survivor Series card to all of this is beyond me. But oh well. All right. So the women's match, I'm probably gonna go with Team Raw.
Yes.
What say you, Pat?
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna give it to SmackDown.
You really think Asuka's losing? This
DQ.
girl out.
I have a feeling.
This girl
DQ
beat
or
Brock.
something.
No, this girl beat Goldberg's fucking winning streak, and Goldberg actually acknowledged her. There's no way
she's gonna be DQ'd, and they're not gonna count it as a singles record.
Yeah.
What I actually think is gonna. To be honest, I don't think they're gonna have Raw. I think the Raw team is gonna win for the men, so I don't think they're gonna have the Raw women's team win.
All right, whatever. I guess I see it. I mean, I see why you would say that, but I disagree. But I see where you're going with this. Next up, we got the Raw Tag Champs, Cesaro and Sheamus, against the SmackDown Champs, the Usos. Again, it's heel versus heel. I guess I'll go with Cesaro and Sheamus.
I'd like to see the Usos go over because I like the Usos.
Okay. I like both teams.
Usos.
Alright. I like both teams, but I personally see Cesaro and Sheamus going over.
I don't think they're gonna do that because I think in the next match, or did we skip a match?
I'm personally skipping the men's match for now.
I want to talk about the Shield versus the New Day.
Well, that's the next one I was gonna bring up. We got the Shield against the New Day.
I think the Shield's gonna go over here, so I think they're not gonna have Raw.
Right.
It's gonna be spaced. They're gonna space everything accordingly. So the Shield's going over, and for the women's match, the Raw Women's Champ Alexa Bliss against SmackDown Women's Champ Charlotte Flair. Charlotte's going over.
Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte.
And do I think Rick will be with her? Yes.
Yeah, especially at the 30 for 30, the amount of attention that's gone.
Exactly.
Well, just the fact that he was there last night, that was already going to be an indication that he's going to be around for maybe a little while.
Yeah, it's almost a no-brainer that he'd be there.
And that was and last night was his big return in almost a year. So.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe he'll be with her. I don't know.
That's gonna be my fat match. No, if you're looking at the picture, if you're on the actual WWE site, right now, and you're looking at the picture, I'm yeah, that's my fat match.
Wait, their actual picture? What did they actually?
No, they're on WWE site. It shows all the everybody that's in the match.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was just looking at the picture. I'm yeah, I'm gonna jerk off to this.
Tell us how you really feel, Bubby.
I was gonna say now we know what gets him there.
Wait, hold up. We got breaking news. James Ellsworth is released.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they fucking let him go.
For him to do.
Yep.
Bye, Carmelo.
Oh God.
Okay, yeah. Well, your dad's gonna be fucking excited.
Well, he's gonna be excited, but Wrestling Soup are gonna start crying tomorrow.
Were they friends with him?
Yeah, they're boys with him.
Oh.
Well, I know.
He made a decent amount of money.
Oh, he made a. I'm sure he saved. But you know what? Whatever. He has a company in Maryland. He's good, and you know Soup will get him on.
Yeah.
He's gonna be fine. It's just out of nowhere. Well, not real. Okay, maybe not really because they did do an angle.
They just had him like say something and get like dumped by Carmella. So
Yeah. Anyway,
what were they gonna do with him? Put him in the cruiserweights?
they weren't gonna do nothing with him. Hey, whatever. I mean, he had a good run. For a year. If anything, maybe he kind of did it. Maybe he wanted out too. You never know.
Going back to his own company.
Yep. So, okay. Next up here, now we'll talk about it. We got Team Raw. Officially, it's Kurt Angle, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and Triple H against Team SmackDown of Shane McMahon, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, and John Cena.
Raw.
I'm going SmackDown.
Really?
I'm going SmackDown. Braun Strowman is going to get DQ'd. I'm going SmackDown. I hate to say it. John Cena is getting the pin.
Interesting.
Huh.
Yep. Because John Cena did all the favors. They gotta give him. You know how WWE works. You give some to John Cena. John Cena takes. So John Cena, I see being the one winning this fucking thing. And then the last match will be. I already know who's fucking going over, unfortunately, but it's gonna be Brock Lesnar, for the Universal. Who is the Universal Champ against WWE Champ AJ Styles. We know Brock's winning, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah. I'd love to see AJ go over, but yeah,
we all
I
would.
agree.
We all would.
I mean, it'd be the perfect time because he would still be champion, and
it's still gonna be a fucking good match.
It's such like a freak, thing where it's like AJ fucking gets the pin.
Mm-hmm.
Unless that's why they got rid of Jinder, because it would have been like so much of a fucking slap in the face if he had gone over Brock.
You know what? What's gonna be the awesome part about this match that no one's acknowledging at all, and this is why the one time I wish JBL was here on commentary just to acknowledge
they did
this.
both IWGP champions.
Thank you. No one's bringing that up. So there's 4. All right, so Earls.
But think about it, guys. Why would they bring that up?
JBL has brought it up in the past. That's why.
Well, there you go. He probably got in trouble.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, there's only 4 IWGP champs that are foreigners. Well, okay, 5 that are foreigners, I should say. I mean, you got Bob Sapp, Vader, Stan Hansen, AJ Styles, and Brock Lesnar. And this is the first time under the WWE umbrella you're going to have 2 former IWGP champs going at it.
You mean guys who actually held the IWGP title?
Yeah.
What about Hulk Hogan? Didn't he hold the belt?
No.
I said that last week, and it turns out he only won the G1.
Oh, all right.
Him and Andre won the G1, so they faced off for the belt, but they didn't win it.
Yeah, so actually, you had 3 Gaijins, aka foreigners, win the G1 I mentioned last week. It's Hulk Hogan, Andre, and Kenny Omega. So, to add to Kenny Omega's fucking promo before, he could also say that he was under the same breath as Hogan and Andre.
Not to mention the fact, kids, that Kenny Omega, can be in the same breath as the great Andre the Giant and the immortal Hulk Hogan as being the only Gaijin to win the IWGP G1 Championship belt. That's right, kids. Kenny Omega, #1, WWE, underneath me.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Thank you.
That's pretty good.
You know what's funny? I've never heard him cut a promo in my life.
It's not that far. You're not that far off.
Am I?
He's fucking good.
To be honest, you know what? It would make it sound a little bit better. He said he kind of does like the pauses like Triple H, but he doesn't do the
all right, I hear you.
Try to mix that in with Brian Pillman.
Oh God, move on. Who cares? Go ahead. So we got Brock Lesnar going
you weren't
over.
a Pillman fan of his promos?
Oh, I love Pillman, but I'm not going to sit here and do a Pillman impression. I mean, come on.
You know what? I'm gonna send him a Kenny Omega promo.
Yeah, let me hear one. I like to see.
You'll enjoy it.
But anyway, so we've got all this going on, and I'm glad there's going to be at least one of the one actual Survivor Series style match, or at least a couple
really
of them.
two.
I was to say a couple of them. When honestly, I kind of like the original idea of the all of them being like that, but I get it. I get the idea that sometimes you just gotta break away from all that stuff. So
I'm fine now that they got the brand split. Just make the pay-per-view Raw versus SmackDown.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yes.
I'm okay with. But I mean, you got the Raw men's, and then you got the Raw and SmackDown for the men, a traditional 5-on-5, and you got it for the women. So it's like you have at least two. I mean, it's better than one. There was at least one or two Survivor Series where they didn't have any.
That's true. That's very true. I remember that, and I remember watching it, going, "Well, geez, this kind of sucks,"
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think it was the I don't remember 2000 having one. The one where it was like Kurt Angle and Undertaker and Triple H and Austin, where Austin did the gimmick where he brought Triple H up on he raised him up when he was in the car.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Bubby. I'll take a look at it later. But listen, let's go ahead and wrap up because I got to get some stuff going on here.
Yeah, we all got to get out of here.
Yeah,
Pat,
I do too.
I just took some cold medicine, and I'm going to be going to sleep here voluntarily or involuntarily.
Yeah, I'm probably going to lay down myself for a little bit. Anyway, so when do you guys find an outro? Or just name me something.
Oh, I got one.
Take it, Pat. I can't even think.
Alright, and while he does that, let's get some plugs out of the way. We got a good friend, Chad Flatt, of the Pro Wrestling Weekly on thefanspodcast.com. Also, you got Retro with the Shro, our good buddy there, Rob Kellum, the maestro of WCW. He has his show on VoxNation.com. And then that's every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also got a Wrestling Soup on 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Thursday nights on Mixler. You can also check them out on iTunes and Stitcher on the download, as well as us. We are also on iTunes and Stitcher. Go to emwcreations.com/KTR to listen to us and look up some archives. Also, to Facebook.com/Kayfabe Talk Radio. You can find all updates and stuff. We will not be doing a show next week. If anything, we'll be on in the 2 weeks from now on a Wednesday, most likely. If anything changes, we'll keep you guys posted. But look out for AM Thunder, which should probably drop around this Monday. And go to Twitter. I'm on there at EricTheRed211. Find J.R. Earls at J.R. Earls Arts. He also can take some requests for any art you have, but give him some time. And then you got Mr. _Bonesaw for all your gripes and complaints on the show.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
Till next time.
Because his give a damn is busted, kids.
He ran out of shits to give.
Didn't we all?
Yeah. Till next time, keep it kayfabe.
Bitches.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I've got the looks that drives a girl wild. I've got the moves that really move 'em. I said chill.